All right, I'm showing you an EGR tube minus the sock for a 2017 Ram EcoDiesel. I should have filmed it before, but like many people have seen, it was completely caked. This thing had only a small hole left, and this side wasn't terrible, but it was dirty. And so I'm cleaning it up, and what I've done so far is just use a wire brush, soak it in a grease removing solution for a little while, but I don't want to leave it all day like some people do in diesel fuel or something like that, because I want to get this thing back together. I tried using a little brush like this to get some in there. It worked okay. Tried using a brush like this to get in here. I could only get about this far, and this brush did let me get in kind of the rest of the way to kind of clean out some of this. So now I'm going to try a different experiment altogether to do a final clean using the steel scrubby. Some steel wool would probably work. I'm going to cut this if these wire cutters will cut it. Of course they won't. Let's see if we can just rip out a piece. All right. That's all I'm going to try at first. Then I've got a coat hanger right here. I think I'm going to slide this in between the coat hanger. Hopefully this is not too stiff. And I'm going to put the other end in my drill. I haven't done this at all, so you get to see the epic fail first, if that's what it is. And we're off to a great start. This end that I bent is not ideal for fitting in a drill, but I'll make it work. If I left it flat, I figured it would just spin in the drill. So, all right, since I don't have anything to get in there, now let's try putting it in here. All right, so that just pushed it out. So let's go with my original plan, which was going to be to just stuff this in there. I will have to dig it out. Hopefully that won't be the end of the world. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to bend it flat. This hanger is ridiculously heavy duty. All right, there we go. And hopefully that'll just kind of push. Now let's go ahead and put another piece through it. Some of you may be terrified of shoving something like this in your tube, thinking it'll get stuck. It is possible, but I figure I can always shove a wire down with hooks and pull out little bitty pieces, blow it out with air and whatever. So I'm not too concerned about that if I can make this thing work. Nice and slow. It is hard to make it make that turn. Good news is it grabbed it. So that's one thing. So I don't know, I may have to bend this thing to try to get past the curve because of all these little ridges here. It doesn't let things through very easily. So let's see if we can get this thing off again. Shove it in there as far past the curve as I can get. And then I'm pre-bending this a little bit to see if I can get it past the curve. Okay. Now, the goal is to get it down here. That's the goal. Nope. That's just not going to work. It's maybe if I had a pipe around this hanger or something, but it's just not going to get in there. All right, let's try this again. Nope. So let's see what happens if I go up and come the other way. First things first, I'm going to cut off some of this tip. So it's scratchy, but I mean it's not straight, it's sharp, but hopefully it'll work. So now if I put it in here, well, it would have worked, but it came out the side hole of the EGR tube. Let's see if we can get it past that. All right, so now we got to straighten this out a little bit and hold it down here where I hopefully won't cut myself. All right. Feels like it's going in there a lot more than it was. Good. Bending pretty good, but it is going through. I'm afraid that that wire is going to break in there. All right. So now I'm going to pull it back out, see if I get any of that steel wool. Look at that, I grabbed it. So now I'm just going to push it back in a little bit because my goal is to clean out the tip. All right, so it did get some soot. You get to decide for yourselves if this is a viable solution. I'm not entirely sure that it was all that worth it, although if I look in there, you really can't see in camera, with the exception of at the very bottom, because I didn't spin it very much, but if you look up in there deeper, it's pretty shiny. So now I'll rinse it with water. Let's see what all comes out. Down here, honey. All right. Clean that last little bit. All right. So I will probably wipe it a little bit, but if you can see in there at all, that's pretty clean. I don't think, let's turn on the flash. See if that helps get in there a little bit. Yeah, it does. Just a little bit. That's pretty clean in there. See if you can see inside that hole. And so you can see it's very shiny in the hole because that's where that wool was spinning inside. And if we look in here, that's about a brand new EGR tube. This was at 80,000 miles. Again, I wish I had shown you before. It was caked in that oily black soot. So, let me know what you think and post some of your ideas to clean a tube like this. Remember, it's got a real heavy-duty, caked-on, sooty, oily stuff that you're trying to get off. So, and I don't want to put it in some acid that might destroy the metal.